New CBS News polling shows the president's approval rating has marginally slipped since the U.S. carried out strikes on Iran late last month. Take a look at this. 40% of Americans currently say they approve of President Trump's job performance. That's a slight drop from his approval rating the day before the war began. This decrease is driven, at least in part, by the conflict in the Middle East, with only 38% of Americans supporting his handling of the situation. Even fewer approve of the president's handling of the economy and inflation. Rina, Shah and Kristian Ramos join us now from Washington for what we call a Strat Chat. Rina formerly served as a senior GOP congressional advisor, and Kristian is the former communications director for the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Good Monday morning to you both. I want to start with this data. Rina, a whopping 92% of MAGA Republicans approve of the U.S. taking military action against Iran. Do you see that as a good sign for the Trump administration, or might it be something else?
Well, I think the CBS poll is very clear. A majority of Americans are not sold on how this Iran conflict is being handled right now. Disapproval is up, and folks want clearer goals and a quicker end. I think that's fair feedback from a war-weary public. But in looking at exactly what MAGA is doing, that poll shows very strong backing from Republicans, as you just said, and especially the MAGA base, over 90% in some surveys, because they see this as necessary to keep America safe. And I don't see that sentiment changing anytime soon. Now, I think if we go past maybe the 2-month mark, 3-month mark, we'll enter sort of deep summer, the fall. We could see it potentially change, but this is a viewpoint that is firmly held. I think the broader public is the greater concern, because we know that independents are so important here. And the broader public have said in so many polls they want results without endless entanglement, and that is a center-right priority. Win fast, come home strong.
Well, Kristian, CBS News polling also shows Americans have become more pessimistic about the economy since the Middle East conflict began. We've seen gas prices jump. Might that be an issue that wins Democrats back the House in November, potentially the Senate come midterms?
Yeah, Republicans ran in 2024 on 3 things. They were going to end forever wars, they were going to lower the cost of living, and in particular lower the cost of gas. They have done the opposite of that. The president has only been in office for a year and 3 months. This has been a complete disaster and a betrayal of all of the things that he ran for. And I think what is particularly jarring is Democrats passed lots of legislation to invest in clean energy solutions, cost-saving, hybrid cars and electric vehicles, and this administration just got rid of all of them. So right now, people are paying $100 at the pump. Groceries cost more than they've ever cost. And we are currently in what is shaping up to be a forever war. We are nearing the point of no return. If they actually send troops over there, it will be very hard for this administration to leave the Middle East anytime soon. That is toxic for congressional Republicans who, again, ran on lowering costs, ending forever wars, and in particular lowering the cost of gas. They have done the exact opposite, and voters are righteously pissed off about where they are.
And I want to ask you both something that's separate from the economy, but more about decorum and leadership. Kristian, former FBI Director Robert Mueller died over the weekend. President Trump sent a message saying, quote, he's glad he's dead. Are Republicans okay with that tone?
Listen, the only reason Donald Trump is not in jail right now is because Robert Mueller was scrupulous about enforcing the rule of law. And he believed in democracy, and he believed in crossing his T's, dotting his I's, making sure that the rule of, that the law was enforced correctly. Otherwise, Donald Trump would be in jail right now. He should be thanking the Lord on high for Robert Mueller's judgment. Instead, he trashes him, he tarnishes him. This was an American patriot who served with valor in Vietnam, something that this president never did. His behavior is atrocious in this moment.
And Rina, what do you make of it? Because Mueller was also named FBI director 1 week before the 9/11 attacks. He oversaw a massive transformation over the Bureau. Did you find the president's response acceptable?
I didn't just find President Trump's reaction to Mr. Mueller's death to be blunt and personal. I found them to be completely disrespectful and unacceptable, because I actually met Mr. Mueller myself in 2011, and he struck me as a straight arrow guy who was serious about duty. Whatever you think of the Russia probe, he was hated by both sides at different points. You know, the left really felt that he never delivered on the goods that they wanted, and then the right felt that it dragged on and was overreach, his investigation into Trump. Obviously, Trump called his investigation a witch hunt, but I get it. Emotions run high in Washington. They always will. But as conservatives who value institutions, we should look at Mr. Mueller's service, what he did in his time at the Bureau. He left in a lasting impression on many public servants in this town. And I think we should value his service. So I am saddened about his passing, but I know he led an incredible, exemplary life.
All right, Rina, Shah, and Kristian Ramos, we appreciate you being with us this Monday. Thanks for your time.